So I'm going to say another comments. First, the power of imaginaries. At the beginning I was saying there are many imaginaries. I will say that they are transforming again some, in Colombia specifically, I'm sorry, in Colombia. The size of the Amazonia is being reduced for strategic reasons. They need then to develop more extractive industries. The former President Uribe implies the territorial expansion of the state that was not really controlled by the Colombian army, nor the Colombian institutions. But Santos is trying to consolidate that too, and in this case, negotiations with the guerrilla army FARC is going to be very important because they are very important in the Amazonian region. So Colombia moves from conservationism to developmentalism, and it has like sort of two rhetorical discourses on that. For Colombia, the Colombian government, always these national parks has been part of some sort of international agreement in the sense that we behave well. Because we are concerned with this kind of situations. And they promise to create new national parks. But on the other hand, they are like putting to sell to different investors these regions for mining and oil and gas. One problem of conservationism in the Amazon is kind of complicated because most of the people who think in environmental issues think on the problem of population. But the problem with democracy is that it's based on the rule of majority. So if you decide that in the Amazon there are not going to be many people, so it's going to be to have an important impact in a democratic system because you are not going to be a majority. Never. So your destiny in democracy always is going to be decided by others. So my point here is that what about, we have two global projects, we have a nation state in the middle of the two, and what about the local, the people of the Amazon? What do they think? What are their aspirations? In the post-agreement, and I am not talking about post-conflict because what we are going to have is a lot of conflicts after the agreement, if we have the agreement between the government and the FARC. But we have to transform the situation of the peasants that have been stigmatized in Colombia as narco-terrorists because they grow coca, because of reasons related to their survival. And in a way, peasants in the Amazonia are thinking in some sort of similar situation to the indigenous people. How is it possible to build some sort of peasant reserves for a part of the elite that is like giving to the FARC a territory because they make that connection immediately, peasants and FARC. And also the expansion of the legal, international legal mechanism that gives the way, the possibility to indigenous people to discuss, participate, and oppose developmental projects. So, if this is possible to expand this international mechanism to peasants in the Amazon, that is like some sort of vision for the future. I am putting here just Hernando de Soto with his Indians interested in participating in globalization, Andres as Indians. This is James Cameron with his Indians, not so well dressed as Indians. This is an Amazonian woman with an Alaska indigenous person, thinking in this time of globalization also as an anti-hegemonic globalization. This is part of development in Amazonia. This is Manaus, in the middle of the jungle. And this is my thanks for your attention.
Going to get some coffee.
Thank you.
We have plenty of time for questions. Probably one or a few. So I let your mind. So if you have questions.
Sorry to take too much time. Again,
If you forgive me for being blunt, so your main point is?
Amazonia is experiencing important changes that are transforming the stereotypical way of thinking Amazonia as a huge forest, excellent for biologists and ecologists, and indigenous people excellent to study for anthropologists. So it's time to move on because changes are really making a lot of pressure. Putting Manaus there, you can put also Belém do Pará, you can put also Iquitos and other cities in the Amazon. Is urbanizing very quickly. So the global audience should change the idea we stereotypically have as what is the Amazon. I would say that that is the meaning.
Ask you, in your research, have you come across new forms of representation like in this global age of the Amazon? And I'm thinking in particular, I saw some slides of Google Maps going into the Amazon and just being able to protect better because now we know exactly certain borders, picking up logging and other aspects of the Amazon. I'm wondering, how do you see technology factoring into some of the things that you proposed?
I would say that technology is very important to have a better idea. But normally from the point of view of indigenous people or peasants or inhabitants of the Amazon, they are thinking less in that technological kind of maps or cartography. They are thinking in local and participative cartography made by themselves. When you see that, and when you make that kind of exercise, they will see, they show how a lot of cartography put together by the National Agency on Cartography lost a lot of rivers, a lot of places, very important places where animals go, etc., that they really know, and change the map. And also the names are very important. When you have the names, that is the importance of the language. The names, the indigenous name of some places has dense meaning. So when you change the name, you just forget or lose knowledge of what you have. So both of them are very important. Sometimes the technological instruments are good like for precision. I would say that the participative cartography is not good just for precision, but for building identity of the territory.
Do you think the way that is developing right now in the last years outpaces the previous years? For example, the mining is extremely aggressive, of course, for the price of gold right now is just devastating, huge amount of, and I wouldn't just say not just nature, but also culture and so on, because, and this is not done by local people, these are done by Canadians, or very, most of the Canadians is the mining center of the world, anyway, destroying and amazingly outpacing any effort that have been done in the past.
Yeah. Normally, the government is like targeting illegal mining. But I will say that illegal mining is just one little part, because anyway, the big companies that deal with mining, that are mining companies, are part, I mean, a big part of the problem. But they try to change the focus toward the illegal mining. And with reasons or without them, they are trying to say that there are like criminal enterprise that little by little have been administered by FARC. So in that kind of things, like in drug dealing, it's very difficult for the common public to know what exactly is true. But most of the government targets are illegal, and sometimes they confuse artisanal mining with illegal mining. For example, people that have been doing mining for centuries, for example, in the Pacific or in other places, become illegal at some point. So that is kind of really complicated and generate more social problems.
Yeah, because they are selling the mining rights, or of course with corrupt government, they just sell the mining rights to anybody that bribes this government.
Yeah. Some of the indigenous people or some of the leaders are interested also in mining. I'm not naive regarding that. But at least they are saying, okay, I'm going to administer that, so I'm going to get something from that. Not all the indigenous people or indigenous leaders are against mining. They could see like the problems, but they will say, hey, I will get something from this. So it's kind of complicated. Yeah, somebody else before, no? Yeah, and David.
The two development focused energies coming, Brazil and China. Are either one of them influenced or controllable by investing in local governance, strengthening of local, or are they equally rapacious and which is worse?
Which is worse? I don't know how China exactly behaves in that kind of matter, so I cannot say anything on that. But I will say that even in the time of Lula, we got some figures that they stopped the process of deforestation of the Amazon for some time, and then when Lula left his post, again start. But I will say that the Brazilian government had that kind of grandiose idea of transformation. And if you think Brazil is like right now the 6th or the 5th economy in the world, and they have these big projects, and when they build this project, they are not really taking in account opinions of local people. They can build dams, and they are going to build them. I think Brazilian colleagues can say that that is not true, but I will say that some of the conquests of the constitutional conquest of the Constitution of 1987 is going back. They are losing a lot of the things that they conquest. And right now, one of the problems, I would say, with Dilma is that she doesn't have a lot of space to maneuver. So I would say that neoliberal politicians are really gaining a lot of power and deciding a lot of things. Like 12 public universities right now are strike. They have a lot of problems. They are cutting things. So it's kind of complicated for Brazil right now because of different reasons. So I don't have a lot of hopes regarding Brazil right now. I cannot say many things about China. So I better not to say. Please answer. Sorry.
No, I was in Manaus twice. The first time in 1963, when the entrance, we had to land in a seaplane. Actually, the plane landed on the river. And second time I was there was when it was made an international port. All the trees were chopped out. Anyhow, my question is, we all know that the forests are the lungs of the earth because trees inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. That's why they call the Amazon the lungs of the earth. My question is, which is worse? mining